Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, January 3rd, 2025. Am I right? I am right. Okay. We got a furry dog to join us at our apartment. Technically, the story between Yuki and us has gone back pretty far, about 8 or 9 months. We got him in February as a puppy. Someone posted online on this neighborhood app that they found this dog next to their dumpster, and it was a really cute puppy. So, long story short, I get a message in my inbox a few days later, and it's the owner of the post reaching out to me, asking me if I still wanted the dog. And I knew we could not have a dog. We were not allowed dogs at our apartment, and dogs are a lot of work. We didn't have time to take care of a dog. So we ended up going to look at the dog, and from there we just took the dog. He kind of looks like a corgi, he's this yellowy color. Hi! And he is definitely living up to his name a bit, because his name means happiness. It also means snow, but it also means happiness in Japanese. So my parents, or I guess Ethan's parents, decided that they would help us out with him until we found a home for him, or until we could move potentially. If you love your parents, do not do that to them, though. It was definitely from the start just not a great situation, and it's only until now that it's kind of worked out. But it was really not fair for us to have someone else watch our dog for as long as we did, and he did not have training and anything. He was sweet, but he was just not a good dog. And they had another dog. The only benefit was their other dog really enjoyed having a dog, and it kind of got the other dog's energy out, because the other dog is like a crack addict, so much energy. So it's harder to rehome pets in the South just because people don't really fix their pets, and the shelters are just so overloaded with pets. If you're thinking about getting a dog in an apartment, I think this video will be helpful to you, and I hope that my experience with Yuki will potentially be a good information for you if you're deciding to get a dog. Just know that they're a commitment, they're a lot of work, and if you don't have a lot of time on your hands now, getting a dog is not the greatest option. Keeping the dog you already have is something you should always try to do, because your dog will be better off with you than just in a shelter somewhere, and things can always get better, or worse, but things can always get better for your dog. So commit to your dog and try to make it work. Good morning. I'm getting ready for church, and I'm definitely not gonna wear this like the way that it was a second ago. Like this, tucked in. Ayuk. This is my dog. He's super excited. Okay. Come on, Bobby. Come on, Bobby. The change we have seen in Yuki has been super encouraging. I think the first week he was here in the apartment, he was not acting like he was house trained. He was just kind of unsure what to do with himself, and he was not crate trained either. I had to put him in his crate for 10 minutes at a time just to show him you will not be in here forever if you're in here. He would bark so much anytime he was in his crate. So obviously we can't have him barking. So if he started barking, we just had to let him out. He has been here for about almost a month. It will be a month in 2 days that he has been here. And he is just such a good boy. And I'm so excited that we're able to have him here. If your dog is having a lot of issues, you should try to watch some YouTube videos. A lot of the time, you just gotta walk your dog. They can go run around in a field, and it's not the same thing. I think my dad told me when they walk, they smell things, and it releases relaxer hormones in their brains or something. So walk your dogs, especially if they're in a smaller space where they can't just run around outside when they want to. And especially before you put them in a crate, you need to walk them, because I would be so claustrophobic if I had a ton of energy and someone put me in a little crate. So that's my recommendation, my advice. I'm feeling really good, and I feel like a lot of the things that I've had trouble with just in the past few years with us moving and getting married is having really good relationships. And I don't know how much of that is the people or us, you know, because I don't remember having problems making friends before we moved down to Alabama. It's definitely a cultural city vibe, and not everyone really fits in with that. And I feel like maybe we just aren't really fitting in with the Huntsville city vibe because we have a very hard time making friends here. We had a lot more friends in college, but our friendships from college ended really badly, which I talked about in my other video. It could just be me, but I feel like we don't really connect with people down here very well. And it's funny because we're both from the Northeast. Ethan's from New Hampshire and I'm from Connecticut. And we clicked really well with each other when we met. Like, not like we were friends at first. Like, we were not, definitely not. We were in the same friend group and we didn't really like each other even as friends for a while. And then we were like, oh, okay, you're not a bad person. And we started dating eventually. But this couple that I recently have been clicking with is also from Maryland. And so I was kind of thought that was funny that I feel like a lot of the people that I click with really well are just people from my home area, and maybe that is not a bad thing. Like, there's this whole stigma that people in the South are fake, but honestly, I think the people just have their routine, and I feel like people in different parts of the USA are a lot more social, and people in the South maybe just they're more family oriented. That was the best way that I can describe it. Yuki was like, let me out. With that being said, I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm going to try to give a little overview of what it's like to live in Huntsville, Alabama. I've lived here for I've lived in Huntsville for like 2 years, and just in the surrounding area of Huntsville for like 5 years. So basically in Huntsville for 5 years. Gone to school here, high school and college, and I've spent a lot of important life seasons here. So I have a little bit of experience, and I'm gonna try to represent what it's like living in Huntsville. So this just happened. I'm not gonna say I wasn't like wanting to have a baby, but it was definitely a little sooner perhaps than I thought it would happen. I mean, we probably got the participation award, but we definitely didn't come in first place with this. But that's crazy. I mean, really was not hard at all. I'm definitely feeling like excited, not scared. Honestly not scared at all. I think I'm more excited than I am like nervous at all, because I feel like God has definitely made it pretty clear that this is the next step for Ethan and I, and we were kind of like, we had a lot of different like signs per se, and we were like, okay, I think it's time, but didn't really make sense, especially since we live in like a 1-bedroom apartment. Didn't really make sense. So baby will be here before our lease ends, but it's a weird thing. And I'm still processing. It's so weird. The whole day at work, I was like worried that everybody knew somehow. Like everybody knew. I was especially like anxious. I was kind of nauseous this morning, but I don't think it was like pregnant nauseous. I think it was just like anxious that everybody would know somehow that I was pregnant. And I was like, there's probably pheromones off the walls. People probably are gonna know. And I probably am eating more and like drinking a lot more. I started drinking out of straw, which I never do. So I don't know. I was like worried that people would just like somehow know. More to update later. I'm still processing the new thing, and I'm gonna keep this probably because genuinely don't believe this still. But prayers that everything goes well would be appreciated, and I will come back and give an update soon.